Good morning, and thank you, the Levins, Ira and Julia, for getting us in here beautifully in such a nice way. And welcome to everyone this morning. I know you're all doing great. So good to see all your faces here. I know we've got we don't have Canada here today apparently, but I know we have Mexico, and we even have Englewood here today, and New York, and just people coming in from all over the place, which is really fantastic. So I do, and I will put this into the chat. Oops. There we are. Just so everybody can read along. I do want to say that we are the Center for Spiritual Living of North Jersey, and in the chat, you can read along with me who we are. We are an open and affirming science of mind community where the vibration of love lifts you, the wisdom of the ages inspires you, and the science of mind teaching empowers you. We believe that heaven and hell are states of consciousness that you experience in this lifetime, and that you are the architect of your life, and it's never too late to know true happiness. Are we happy? All right, we all be happy. So I want to welcome everybody. I do new members today. I know Joanna's here for the first time today. Welcome, Joanna. Love to have you here. And I want to welcome everybody that's here all the time or occasionally, just everybody. So it's good to be here. We had our Psalm Sunday this morning, which was always good. We're looking at what we're going to do differently with that next year. So stay tuned. There's going to be some good things coming up for that as well. Nettie was the one who led us in our Psalm Sunday this morning, did a great job as usual there. So thank you, Nettie. So now we will turn it back over to Ira and Julia as they do our opening chant, and then followed by our own Rev Jersey girl herself, Reverend Michelle, with today's opening treatment.
I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. You are opening. You are opening. Your hearts are ready to receive. You are opening. You are opening. Your hearts are ready to receive. We are opening. We are opening. Our hearts are ready to receive. We are opening. We are opening. Our hearts are ready to receive.
Join us.
We are opening. We are opening.
my gosh, so lovely, the vibration that I get to bring you into spiritual practice by. And so I'm going to offer you a mashup today. But first, let's take a minute and a half at least to go into our inner landscape, the place that is the source of our good, our intelligence, our love. Because we know that we don't have to reach outside for anything. All of our life is an inside job. All of our intelligence, all of our resources, all of our wisdom resides within. So I will go silent and let us just bask in our own beauty. So I'm going to bring to you today a little mashup of spiritual practices, partially inspired by the way the Levins brought that song to us, partially by the intention of today's talk. And so what I ask you to do right now is to take a very mindful breath, and I'd like you to inhale to the count of 4, hold it for 4, and exhale to a count of 6, and really feel the breath. As always, I invite you to do it, to breathe in through your nose and out of your mouth, because it helps to flow the energy to flow through your body. So let's do that again together, but in through your nose, and even let a sound leave your mouth so that you can feel the breath leaving. And now join me, if you will. I am open to seeing love. I am open to hearing love. I am open to speaking love. I am open to feeling love. Love resides with me, within me. Now let's do that again. I am open to seeing love. I am open to hearing love. I am open to speaking love. I am open to feeling love. Love resides within me. And so recognizing the power and the presence and the love of the one that is everywhere present, the in, the out, the up, and the down. It is in the flow and the stagnation. It is in the spring and the winter. It is in all places, all the time, simultaneously. There's no moment, not even a nanosecond, that we can be outside of the power that creates everything. By any name, we can give it any name. But as we each align with it, we are moved and elevated and evolved to the degree that we accept and allow this movement to happen through us. Let us allow it. Let us not be distracted by life. Let us not be distracted by anything other than the presence of love and kindness and patience and compassion. Let us intend for this gathering in this community to be that very texture. Oh, I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. And I do bless our musicians today. Our Nettie for running, Neil, every member, everyone tuning in, and the technology, calling this day good and very good. And so it is.
And so it is. And before we go to Reverend Michelle for her talk, the topic for today is love always wins. And, you know, it struck me because we deal with a lot of people from different areas of the country. And when I saw that love always wins, and for those of you who don't know, Reverend Michelle is known as Rev Jersey Girl, the Jersey Girl. And it just kind of struck me the difference of how people view love. We know the different love languages and all that in the book and all that sort of stuff. And that the view that people have of people in New Jersey, if you're in California, and what they think about people from the East Coast and how everybody expresses what they do. And when they hear something like Jersey Girl, they get a whole nother image of who we are and what we are out here. And having spent time out there and experienced our centers out on that coast and how they deal with people, that we love hard here in Jersey. I'm telling you, when we love hard. And I'll tell you, there's nobody, and you can accuse me of all the prejudice in the world you want. I'm fine with it. But Reverend Michelle Wadleigh is that love and expresses it more deeply and more enthusiastically than anybody I've ever met. So I'm sure that her message today, that love always wins, will be exactly that. We're going to know when she's done. So please welcome Reverend Dr. Michelle Wadleigh.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. And you know what? Amen. Amen to that, because that has been the very breath of my life and my motivation. It is everything about how I've always wanted to show up. So I will take it and accept it. So good morning. And I have a request, and you know, you might not want to. If you are able to put your video on, I do invite you to. We need to see each other. We really need to see each other as much as possible. And I have a second request. If you are sitting next to somebody, I'm going to ask you throughout this celebration today to hold their hand, to actually hold hands. Why? Because it's lovely. It's lovely. There are some individuals here who are single who don't have that opportunity. I get it. You know, maybe you can hold your own hand. But the physical touch is so important. So if you're willing, hold the hand of your beloved if they're sitting next to you. And yes, Joe Schneider, that includes you. I get to tease him. He's a friend. So the way I describe my talk today is, no matter the problem, no matter the health issue, no matter the internal conflict, love, pure, unadulterated love, will open hearts, pave a way, and heal all the elements as it alchemically transforms what is right in front of you. And then I thought, wow, with the name love always wins, that implies that there's a loss, because there has to be the opposite if I'm saying that it wins. And so for me, if there's loss, it's because I'm not present to love. So I lose when I'm not present to love. Jimi Hendrix, oh, you know this one. He said, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. And that's slightly problematic, because those who love power, they don't even know we exist. We're like little ants running around trying to survive a moment. And those who actually have the power to guide life and do life, they're not even aware of our existence. So what that means to me, and that's fine, I'm not calling that bad. I'm not saying that we should overturn life, none of that. I'm just saying that you and I, us, you, me, us, literally us, as a tribe, we have to do this together. We have to come together in a way where where we're in a state of love so completely that it is impenetrable. So I don't know if you know what a scrum is. If Garth is listening, I know Garth knows. Scrum is a rugby term. And if you've ever watched rugby, there's this part in the game where the teams, the two sides of the team, they hook arm in arm. The arm like strong. These are big, strong, rugged men. And they go arm in arm, and they're up against each other. And then someone throws a ball under them, and they try to get the ball, right? And so that's what happens. And so that scrum, though, is the visual. When I think of knuckling down with you, when I think of knuckling down and being together, to be that state that we are stronger together, I think of a scrum. Not a very pretty sight. If you look up a picture of it, you might want to write it down, look it up. It's pretty amusing, actually. It's dirty and sweaty and all that. I'm not talking about that kind. I'm talking about the kind of scrum where we are just arm in arm, hand in hand, intention, in sync with each other, with love. It sounds so new agey and mushy, doesn't it? But the truth is, love is fierce. Love is a fierce power. Many of you probably know the story of Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan. Helen Keller being born, at the age of 19 months old, she lost sight and she lost hearing due to some illness. And Anne Sullivan came into her life when she was about 5 or 6, I believe. And Anne Sullivan had limited sight also. And she attempted to teach Helen Keller a language using formed letters in a hand. And evidently, if you've seen the movie or read the book or anything about her, Helen Keller wasn't having it. She has been a little bit of a bratty little bitch. And so it was, sorry, but it was Anne Sullivan's love for her that gave her the patience to walk through this. Any parents of a feisty young child, like a troublesome young child, you know what I'm talking about. Because if we didn't love our children enough, we would cast them out like birds cast out the ornery baby bird out of a nest, but we don't. Our love precedes, and our love knits us together with our children, that we wouldn't allow harm even to come to even the annoying little ones. And if you have more than 2 or 3 kids, always one of them are the one that you wish, I wish I had done this differently. But love as a power, and it's a power, and it's a principle, it's a noun, and it's a verb. And as a principle, like all principles, it should be able to stand up to the scrutiny of questioning. So while Jimi Hendrix says, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, we get to say, is that true? Is it true? So that we dive into it and pay attention to it and unpack it so we can benefit from this as if it were a reality or not. And if we can't scrutinize our own principles, we don't have a leg to stand on as a teaching. We must be able to question what we think we believe in. It is absolutely critical. So I want to imagine for us as a tribe, and I love that word tribe. I don't mean that. I mean that in the most loving way possible. You know, people that sync up, people that when I don't know about you, when we do get together physically, it feels like everybody can just exhale. Like everybody can just go, oh, I'm home. Because as a tribe, especially one that shares spiritual principles and people that share love, we have that effect on each other. Even with silly things, you know, Friday night, we went to, I went with the Schneiders and a few of other community members. We went to see Ty and Richard and their jazz band in Morristown. And then what was happening is we recognized Beth Bachman was there, and the Pachecos, and Doug Vorleaf. Some of you might remember him and his wife Irene. But what happened was every time I saw somebody that I knew in that community, it wasn't that, oh, there's a friend. There was a deep, profound, energetic connection that had been established with love. And when we establish those connections, they carry us. And a commitment to that love and that vibration is absolutely life transforming and powerful. You know, some of you might know, I've shared this before. I was on the first aid squad for about 6 years in Florham Park, and when I lived in Florham Park, and that being trained and then being part of that committee, that community of first aiders, one, taught me how to work in a team, and it taught me that love shows up in many ways. Love isn't always pretty. Love might mean saying no. Love means doing the tough things. In that instance, love meant just walking in, ignoring the cries of a child or the cries of a grieving husband or wife, because they're pretty clear their wife just passed away. And so we had to be in a state of love, so we would let go of the chaos and the confusion of the human element so that we could serve the way we were meant to serve. Often we get confused and we let life and politics and warnings and worry and fear, we let those things capture our attention instead of grounding ourselves, rooting ourselves in a state of love. And I truly believe that it would benefit us. And if anyone here, if you want to open your home and invite a bunch of us in, I would love to sit in community one time and unpack the questions about love. What if love was our guiding principle, our highest guiding principle, what has to change? What has to change in you? What has to change in me? If love is my principle, what doesn't fit in this formula? If love is the guiding principle for our community, what has to go? what can stay. When you're in a family, can you remain in love even when siblings have their things? When someone says something that you just want to cuss them out, can you let it go and just be in the presence of love? And I love how inspired by Thich Nhat Hanh, to ask the question when you think you're right about something, when you're so certain, to stop and ask the question of yourself, am I sure? Am I sure? Am I sure that this is correct? Am I sure? And those couples out there, you still holding hands? I want to see. Good. But we have to be willing to test what we think is true. Otherwise, it's nothing. And we have a number of people, here who are really scientifically minded, and anything that is called a principle needs to be able to stand up to scrutiny. Otherwise, it's just fluff. But I've seen the evidence. I've seen what happens. I've seen families transform. I've seen relationships transform. I've seen people who didn't love themselves at all and then learn to love themselves more. I've seen the impact of love. Love is fierce, and love can be fierce enough that when I'm around my grandchildren, and I'm a ridiculously all in grandma, right? So love is when I take my grandchildren into my arms and I don't want to let them go, but it's also when I say no to them. No, that's not okay. No, that's not safe. So love doesn't look just one way. Love has a variety of ways that it looks. Martin Luther King said, "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." I want you to sit with that. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Now, so if we have a relationship and it seems broken, then we get to ask ourselves, am I more attached to my rightness, to my sense of superiority of my opinion, or can I let go and surrender to love? And Maya Angelou said something that is going to be near and dear to my heart. Love is an endless act of forgiveness. Forgiveness is the key to action and freedom. Love is an endless act of forgiveness. Now that's right up my alley. When we are committed to our opinions, when we are committed to being right, especially, let's put this in perspective. Most specifically, like in a family unit, in this tribe, right? If we're more committed to opinions and our rightness than we are to being the place of love, we are going to be out of balance. We are going to be out of balance. Excuse me. Love looks like patience. Love looks like compassion. Love looks like acceptance. Love looks like empathy. And love looks like saying no, having boundaries, and practicing self-care. So all of those things have many different textures, but they're all love. So in any case, in any case, this is where love does win, because love pulls us out of our ridiculousness. Love pulls us out of our righteousness. And I know, because I have to ask myself, when I see myself forming an opinion, I see myself beginning to think I'm right about something, I do stop and ask, who am I in this? Who am I in this? Because what I want to know is, I want to know, can I move? And can I, in being moved and being grounded in that state of love, can I then help and support to love, to move another? Because in my opinion, and this is just, me being me, I think that if we live in a state of love, we have a responsibility to share it. I really do. I think we have a responsibility to share it. But I also looked up I used my my research assistant, better known as ChatGPT. It's an AI, an artificial intelligence system. I looked up, I wanted to know what are some statistics, and I'm not going to bore you with a lot of clinical things, but I looked up, or I asked the question, what are the statistics about the impact of love? And one of them, and we've spoken about this for a long time, especially in our anti-racism work with, I can't remember the name of the author, but even Lisa Rankin in the book Mind Over Medicine said how people who have love in their life, who have community, live longer. We have beat that drum many times because it's an important thing for us to realize. Stress reduction. Now, trauma, we all have trauma, whether you realize it or not, whether you remember it or not. And as Gabor Mate says, trauma is not what happens to us, it's what happens within us. So our job is to try to manage that internal stress, the internal anxiety. And so they're saying that love reduces stress. Health. There's so much evidence now that the state of love improves our health. It improves our health. So logically, it's a good thing to do, because if you walk around angry for any extended period of time, it is going to turn in on you. It is going to turn in on you. You can't get away from that. Love improves your immune. Imagine that. Love more so you have greater immune to the stuff that surrounds us. And I didn't say this. This is science. These are things that have been tested and proven. How they do that, I have no clue. I'm not concerned about that part of it. Love provides greater happiness, and happy is good for our health. Happy is good for our joy. Happy is good for our creativity. So all around, okay, it has great effects. When we are in love, I don't mean just romantically in love, when we walk in a state of love, it reduces our temptation to take on risky behaviors and substance abuse. I want you to catch that. When we stay in a state of love, grounded in love, it reduces our tendency toward risky behaviors and substance abuse. Because love can be pretty intoxicating, especially when you've just fallen in love and you can't see anything past that filter of being, wonderfully in love. You know that feeling. And here's a really good one. Love is a pain reducer. When we're in a state of love, it reduces pain in the body temple. Now, there are ways to activate this. Spiritual mind treatment, of course, music. What the feeling that the Levins generated at the opening, we've heard that chant 1,000 times over the past 20 years. But there was something unique about the way they presented it, and even the music without words, the flute and the piano that they started with, it just softened. It softened everything here. So music is a fantastic way. It's a fantastic way. Hold on, I just want to check something out. Yeah, a fantastic way to bring health and be pain-free in our bodies. And I want to read one more thing to you, a little bit more, a tad more controversial in where it's sourced, but Thurgood Marshall, the U.S. Supreme Court Justice, he said, "We must dissent from fear, the hatred and the mistrust. We must dissent from a nation that buried its head in the sand, waiting in vain for the needs of its poor, its elderly, and its sick to disappear and just blow away. We must dissent from a government that has left its young without jobs, education, or hope. We must dissent from the poverty of vision and timeless absence of moral leadership. Woof! We must dissent because America can do better, because America has no choice but to do better. So, wow. So while he's speaking about we must dissent from, of course, we and this tribe and people like us, we like to look at if dissent is what we're doing, what are we moving toward? And I love the idea of us being a community so committed to being love that we're willing to walk through the fire of baptism, which will come. It will come. Because when you commit to a high idea, everything unlike it must go. And hence that becomes the discomfort of our reality during that time of transition, during that time. But there comes a time when the discomfort is minimal because you have paved the way and you've committed yourself, your heart, your breath, your actions, your prayers to being the place of love. And as we say in this community so often, I am the place where love resides. With all that's going on in the world, and I really dislike sounding like a Hallmark card. But with everything that's going on in the world, we need to choose love more and more, over and over. And it looks like many things. So what will it look like as you? Can love look like forgiveness? Can love look like a different focus? Can love look many different ways so that you can be a powerful element in this community? A powerful element. Yeah. I feel complete. I feel complete. Let us take this into prayer. Sweet Spirit, in all the ways that we do, I surrender. I surrender my pain. I surrender my opinion. I surrender my righteousness as I accept and allow the power of Spirit in the form of love to be my reality. I remember who I am. I am the evidence of love, and my I am is the I am as it exists in every individual listening. There's only one true I am. And it is the connection to all that is. All that is. I am grateful for the life that I've lived. I'm grateful for the pain that I've experienced. I'm grateful for the even the fear and the worry, because transcending all of it has brought me here. I am the place where love resides because I am willing to climb one step, one opportunity at a time, to be revealed and to have Spirit be revealed through me. And I speak this word in the I am for each of us. I am ready, willing, able, and accepting to walk in love, to speak love, to act in love. I'm willing to do this for myself. I'm willing to do this for my family, even when it's hard. Love is not a fair weather friend. Love must be always. And I'm willing to accept this charge and gloriously model what this looks like everywhere. Grateful for this word, grateful for the reminder, grateful for this community. I surrender this word to love, to law, and to the awe of life itself. And so it is.
Everyone is holy. Everyone needs love. We all need some help to rise above. Everyone is holy. Everyone needs love. We all need some help to rise above. When we love one another, it's holy. When we give love to each other, it's holy. Checking in, reaching out past the sword and shield, turning round, find a place where our hearts can heal and see that everyone is holy. Everyone needs love. We all need some help to rise above. When we love one another, it's holy. When we give love to each other, it's holy. When we love one another, it's holy. When we give to each other, it's holy. When we love one another, it's holy. When we give love to each other, it's holy. When we love one another, it's holy. When we give love to each other, it's holy.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you.
Right. Very beautiful. And thank you, Reverend Michelle, for your message today, which was also beautiful and powerful. And thank you, Ira and Julia, for that I understand how hard it is to do that and still be holding hands at the same time, but you pulled it off, and that was fantastic. What I didn't pull off, I was so anxious to get into the love talk and portion of this, was that I did not read the affirmation for September. And it is so fitting, and it is so perfect, and it's a good way for us to ascend into greater love. So I'm pasting it now. We'll do it right now. We can't miss it. Into the chat. So please read along with me. I am the place where love resides. My I am is the evidence of a gloriously loving and intelligent essence of good. With each breath I breathe, I express and expand this love. Filled to overflowing, I become a generous lover, supporter, cheerleader, and advocate for anyone who needs a bit more love in their lives. And so it is. And I think that works beautifully, maybe better after the talk than before the talk. So that was fantastic. So now it is time for us to talk about gratitude and express our gratitude. And what are we grateful for? We are grateful for a lot of different things. But in particular, we are grateful for the opportunity to be here, and as Reverend Michelle pointed out, to be part of this community and share the love and build the love and spread the love from this community out. And that's done in so many ways through so much giving that is done by everyone, through volunteering, through financial gifts. And it's time to show. We can show that love, and we can use it through your gifts in order to spread this out further. So with a big thank you and a declaration of gratefulness, please read along with me the conscious giving affirmation. I bless this gift that I give today. I give this gift from my heart, and I give it mindfully. May my gift go further to heal, prosper, and bless this center and all who enter. I accept all good that comes as a result of this flow, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. We do ask that you always give to where you're spiritually fed, and we love to think that this is the source where you are most spiritually fed, knowing that you have many. And please, keep being spiritually fed, and remember to give back to that source. The options are here on how you can give. I don't know whether it was mentioned last week or not, since Reverend Michelle and I were not here. We also have an outreach program, and the outreach program is really important because we take things and we give out from the community. We have an in-reach program and we have an outreach program, and we can do a lot of good. And you can see places that we do give to, and we always ask if you have suggestions of places that we can help, please let us know that we can do that as well. The link is there for you to give directly to the outreach program if you so desire. What's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. It's going to be fantastic. You need to be in person, if possible, with your derriere in the seats at 99 South Fullerton Ave in Montclair, New Jersey, next Sunday. We start at 10:30. And why? Well, because we got the choir there, right, Ty? Yeah, we got the choir there. We have, we have Reverend Dr. Michelle as our speaker. We're going to be in person. We're going to be rocking the place. We're going to be doing just a wonderful, wonderful in person. We're going to share the love. We're going to, there's lots of hugs to go around. We've got everything going on, again, in person. If you need any more information, please reach out, and we will be happy to get you that information. So looking forward to seeing everybody there. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I will just put it into the chats in case anybody needs the address of where we're going to be. That's where we're going to be. So,
and Neil, I just want to do, I know you were going to mention it, but just I want to put out a plug for all the women in the group here, next week I'm having a conversation. It's named Women Rise, and it's an opportunity for you to be heard in a way that maybe don't always get to be heard. And it is this time. I know I rarely do this. This is for women only. It is both online and in person. I do request so that you register. Our resistance to registering for things causes us to cancel things, and then we find out afterwards you might have had some interest. So if you would indulge us in registering for all the things that we have coming, that's how we know that we are serving you in the best way we can. So massive love, but I hope you're going to be there.
And in that same way, speaking of women, we have Nettie, who has She Speaks Women's Gathering that she hosts once a month. And that is online. And I do believe that Nettie is still open and to having people join in that
Absolutely.
group. Is that Nettie?
Absolutely. We had our first meeting last Tuesday. It was fabulous. Fabulous discussion.
Excellent. Excellent. Good to have. I know we have a men's group that meets every Sunday night, and it has just been a fantastic experience and just a great way to share and grow from that. So that's been really, really good. We do have two, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that they are also offering have people come and join, and that's the Pages Together, the discussion group, Your Invisible Power, book by Ernest Holmes on the teaching. Reverend Michelle leads that. That is on Zoom. And then the Living Untethered with Bill Zarnowski, which has just started. But Bill, are you open to having other people join? Right.
Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, if anybody's really interested, based on the talk today, I mean, that's really what it's all about. It's about living it and being it, and that's what it takes. So please join us. Just contact me, I think, though, if you are interested. Thanks.
And then, as you also see in the chat, Joe Christiana, who's a practitioner, she is doing Tranquil Harmony, a mindful meditation path for those that want to indulge more into mindfulness meditation. That Joe is leading that, and that starts October 4th. And the link is there for you to register for that. Or if you need to know more, let us know. CSLNorthJersey@gmail.com and ask any questions you have. And we are happy to help you connect there. So hopefully I didn't forget anything else. And I think we're ready to kind of sing ourselves out of here. What do you say, Levins?
Well, that sounds like a great thing. This was beautiful. We're so honored to be with you all. I just love being with you.
It's always great having you.
Thank you. And
you can let go of hands. You don't have to hold hands for this last song.
We did want to say on the theme of love, on December 2nd at the Nyack Center, we will be hosting our 7th annual Rally for Love, in which we invite all the different communities that we sing in and to come together and just to power up and send some love out into the world. So
Send us information
Yeah.
about
We will
Thank
definitely
you.
will.
Okay.
Perfect.
all right. So as just as you know from all of these beautiful teachings, it's just as Victor Wooten, the bass player, has said, you're always a half a step away from a good note. You can just adjust things and make it a brighter day.
It's a brighter day, brighter right away. It's a brighter day. All of us are crowded in a public place, singing a song we all knew. As I looked around me from face to face, a vision of the future grew brighter. It's a brighter day, brighter right away. It's a brighter day. tracks and I was dragging my heels until I looked up at the sky. A heartbeat of birds like a wave on the sea, waving hello and goodbye. It's a brighter day, brighter right away. It's a brighter day. It's a brighter day, brighter right away. It's a brighter day. Well, we sang in a room, we sang a new song. When it was through, we all sang along. We don't need to wait for the end of the world. When we need a revolution, it's right here, right now. It's right here, right now. It's right here, right now. It's a brighter day, brighter right away. It's a brighter day. It's a brighter day, brighter right away. It's a brighter day. It's a brighter day. It's a brighter day.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And now it's that fun time that we unmute, say hello, welcome Antonia's new dog, and everybody enjoy. And you know what? Tell everybody how much you love each other, okay? Don't forget to say it.
I love
Good
you.
morning, everybody.
I love you, Donald, too.
Good morning, Leo. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Donald May.
Love Michelle.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
thank you,
Bill.
Ira and Julia. That was
You got hearts.
I love that song.
I see the heart.
Love
Good
ya.
morning,
Can't be
Terry.
anything
Good
but
morning,
love.
Good morning, Bill.
Thank you
Yes, I
so
love
much.
you.
Such
Thank you.
a
What a great